Hi everybody, it's Cathryn from In the Pink Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, so the products that I use are available on my website that is on the top of the screen, and it's also linked below. Alrighty, my project today is it's a very thin gift box that holds two nail files. I thought this would be a really cute thing for Mother's Day for sisters that are mothers or friends that are moms. I got these in a 2-pack from Ulta, I think when they had actually their dollar sale, but you can get these all over, Dollar Tree, Walmart, Target. And this one says less bitter, more glitter, which I like. And it closes with 2 3/8 inch Velcro dots, and I just wanted to remind you that right now is when all of your Easter grass goes on sale, and if you do a lot of packaging, or if you have a party coming up that you're doing favors for, and it's 9 cents right now. Everything's 90% off I know at Walmart. I'm not sure about Target, but it's really good. Even the $3 stuff is 30 cents now, so they only had the plastic. I like the paper stuff. Alright, so for this project, I used the Flowering Tulips stamp set for the Just Thinking of You sentiment. I used the tulip dies, oops, that's this one, for all of the tulips, the leaves, and the stems. And I used this oval die right here. This is in the new catalog coming out May 4th. It's all that dies. It goes with a masculine stamp set, which I really should have bought. I might buy it. And that's this oval right here. It's the only oval die we have right now, but I love it. I also used some soft seafoam paper. Now this is a piece of soft seafoam cardstock that is 7/8 by 7 1/8. And what I did with it is I embossed it with the Gingham Embossing Folder. None of our embossing folders that I know of, I don't think, are more than 6 inches. But what I did was I just put it in there diagonally. And well, on this one you can see that it's not up and down, but it's not going to matter when you put all the pretty flowers on. You don't even notice. So, okay, so we need one piece that's embossed, that's 7/8 and 7 1/8 soft seafoam. We need another piece of soft seafoam for the actual box that is 9 3/4 by 4. For all from the tulips dies now. We need 2 of the skinny stems. We need 2 of each one of the leaves. There's 2 sizes, so I got 2 of each size, and these are out of soft seafoam. All right, now all of the rest is from Very Vanilla. So we need one that looks like the stitch head when it's upside down, and one that looks like a V. Okay. And then we're going to do 2 of this flower that looks like this. So we need 2 of those, and then 2 of the inside petals, or the single petals. Okay, and then we needed from all that dies this, it's very pretty too. It's embossed on the edge. Oval from Very Vanilla also. Alright, so let's start with our piece of soft seafoam. I'm going to get my Simply Scored. And again, it is 9 3/4 by 4. We're going to start on the 9 3/4 side, and we're going to score at 1/2, 1 1/4, 8 1/2, and 9 1/4. Then we're going to switch to the 4-inch side, and we're going to score at 1/2, 1 1/2, 2 1/4, and 3 1/4. Okay, and that's it. All right, and then I'm just going to fold and burnish. Okay. And this is what we're going to do. Right? This last strip on the sides that is 1/2 inch, we only need this one little piece of it. Alright, so most of that's going to be cut off. So how it's sitting here, there is a skinny rectangle on the left hand side and the right hand side, and one on the bottom. This one is 1/2 inch, they're all three are 1/2 inch, and then this one at the top is 3/4. Alrighty. Okay, so let's start over on the left hand side. What we're going to do is count in 2 score lines and then cut up to the second score line. Okay, and we're going to get rid of all 4 of these. Okay, all right, now we're going to go all the way down to the other side of these 2 long rectangles, go to the next score line here and cut up to the second score line and take all 4 of these pieces off. Okay, that's what it looks like now. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to turn it just a 1/4 turn so that the skinny rectangles are on the bottom, the top, and the left hand side. And what we're going to do is go to the first score line and we're going to cut it up to the second score line. We're going to take this bottom rectangle off, and then we're going to wedge each side of the square here. Okay. All right. Now we're going to skip these 2 rectangles, go to the next score line, and cut it up to the second score line. Okay. We're going to leave these 2 alone again. We're going to take this bottom piece, rectangle, off of the square, and then wedge both sides of the square. Okay, so that's what we did. Okay, now you're going to turn it 180 so that what's left of your skinny rectangles are on the top, bottom, and the right hand side. I'm going to start over on the left again, go to the first score line, and cut it straight to the second score line. We're going to get rid of this bottom rectangle here and wedge the square. Okay. Skip these 2 rectangles, go to the next score line and cut it straight to the second score line. Get rid of the lower rectangle and wedge each side of the square. Okay, so that's what it looks like so far. And then we're going to take, if you have the detail trio punch, if not, a corner rounder, and we're going to round both sides of these extra pieces that stick out the farthest on the sides. And then we want to round the corners of that 1.5 inch strip at the top. Right now it's at the top, okay, because that's going to be the piece on the side here that we put our Velcro dots on. Okay, so that's what your cardstock should look like after you've scored it, cut it, and rounded those 6 corners. All right, and all the measurements will be on my blog. It's linked below, and also there'll be a picture of this on my blog. All right, now we need tear and tape. And we're going to put it on all the tabs, one close to the score line and one at the edge. Then I'm going to take the backing off with my Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to go on the one strip first. Alright, and what we're going to do is we're going to attach it to the piece that has that extra piece on it, okay? So the score line is going to be straight with the side of the inner rectangle. Okay, and then the other end. And then the other side. Okay, and the same thing, you're going to bring it to the middle here, and the score line is going to go straight with the side of this rectangle here. Alrighty. And then these little tabs will fold in, and that keeps the top from submarining into the box. And that's your box. Sorry, I'm all crooked here. All right, so let's put that aside for the minute. Actually, no, we can take this piece of soft seafoam that is, again, 7/8 by 7 1/8. We embossed it with the Gingham Embossing Folder. I kind of wanted the dots one, but that one's retired. This one's not. So I used it like this. All right, and then we're just going to glue this right on top here. You could pop it up, I guess, but I'm just going to glue it. Okay, and there's about a 1/16 of an inch all around. All right, okay, now we're going to let that dry, and we're going to do our tulips. All right, so I need some scrap paper just in case. All right, and we're just going to ink just the top parts of all of our tulip pieces. And I'm going to use polished pink and just a piece of an old sponge we had these, there were circles, I just cut what I need off and for a project and use it. All right, so the top of this one, these are going to curl in. I do have another video, that's the bottom, that shows you exactly how these go together. It's from last month, I believe. Alrighty, so this is how it's going to look. So what you have to do is the inside here, this back isn't going to show. So we want to do the top. This is the inside. I'm just going to do the top parts. And then when this closes, this here will be the top. And then this part. Okay. And the V, just do the top of the V. Okay, and then on these two, again, this is going to close, so you want to do your inking on the inside of the bigger piece here. So I'll do these two first, and then I'll flip it over. I'll do the inside of it. Okay, and then your little pieces, we're just going to do the tip of. Okay, now come the leaves. I'm not going to do the stems because they're very delicate. So we're just going to do the leaves. One of these leaves I did already because I thought I was going to need an extra. This one here. All right, and then I'm going to use soft seafoam on the leaves. I'm just going to do all around the edges. And this just has, it helps it distinguish from the background soft seafoam. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure there's no ink on my hands. All right, now let's do this one first, and this one looks like this. And I'm gonna put the V in. I'm just gonna see, oops, I always put it upside down. I'm gonna put the V in so that it kind of has the back showing in the middle of the two pieces, just like that. All right, so let's just try to put just a little bit of glue, as much as you need, not too much more, because it will squeeze out and make your life hard. Okay, then I'm going to do these two, and this is, again, it's just going to kind of pop up in between the back here, like that, and then this will close over like that. Okay. All right, now let's put our gift inside, and I'm going to put a little bit of grass in the bottom. Okay, and then I'm just going to put my nail files in. Okay, and now we need some 3/8 inch adhesive Velcro dots. You can get them usually in the sewing sections of your craft stores or Walmart. All right, now I'm going to take one side and I'm going to put it about an inch from each end of the inside of the cover on the flap. Okay, then I'll take the other side and put it on top with the adhesive facing out. Okay. All right, and then just make sure that your edges are nice and even, and you're going to gently push on the side. Gently pull it up. This one doesn't want to come. So what I'm going to have to do is look in there and just push the one off. There we go. Okay. And then really reinforce them so that they stay nicely. All right, and you can also, instead of, I just attached this with glue, this bow, you could tie it around if you don't want to do the Velcro dots. Okay, now I'm going to start at the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut each one of these stems in half. Okay. And we're going to put the two that are the same at the top and bottom. Okay, so we'll start with the top one, and I'm going to put it right here with a little bit of glue in the middle. Okay, And then while it's still wet, stick your stem underneath. Well, actually, while it's still wet, then add just a tiny, tiny bit of glue. You could just do it in little dots and spread them. And then stick it underneath here while it's still wet. Okay, and you really, if you don't want to, you don't have to do the tiny stems if it's too tedious. Okay, then I'm going to take a long leaf. I'm going to put it right next to it, a little bit lower. And then a shorter one on the other side, down a little bit from that. I need it. Oh, that's why I didn't put any glue up there. All right. Then we're going to take this one, which is the only one of this type, and we're going to kind of tilt it. This one's kind of straight, maybe a little tilted to the left. And then this one is going to cover the bottom of these leaves, and it's going to tilt a little to the left. Now you can put these on with dimensionals if you want. Okay, and then when that's still a little wet, just put a few dots on another stem. And stick that right underneath. Okay, and then the third one is going to be quite a bit. Oh, wait, sorry, I forgot to put, I'm going to put a small leaf right here. Okay. I'm just going to kind of cover the edge of the tulip up here with the leaf. Okay, whoops. And then this right here, we're gonna put the other leaf already on, just like this. Okay. And then this tulip is gonna go a little bit more to the left than this one. Kind of covered up that little stick, but that's all right. Each one comes out a little teeny bit different. All right, and then we're going to have two stems sticking out from underneath this tulip here. I need it to get that up. Okay. And just kind of separate the stems a little bit so they kind of going a different direction from each other. Oops. Put one down right here. And then the other one the other way. Trying to get it up there. There we go. Okay. I'm going to just move this one up just a little bit. There we go. Okay, and then this one's going to turn a little more. All right, we're good. Okay, now all of our bits of leaves and flowers are on. So let's let that just dry a second. And what we're going to do is get our tag and some Tuxedo Black ink, and we're going to use the sentiment that says, "Just thinking of you today." Great. Okay. Let's let that dry. And I'm going to get some of our crinkled seam binding ribbon. I think I did about 14 inches, 7 inches doubled, so 14 total. And just tie a nice bow if you can. I know it's a little bit more difficult. I think I did actually a little longer, just because I'm challenged when it's tiny ribbon and it's slippery and I've doubled it, so I'm gonna waste a little bit here. I don't know. There you go. Okay, that's better. Okay, what I'm gonna do is on the back of it, I'm going to put some glue. I'm gonna put a dot and then I'm gonna move it a little bit so that it spreads out and sinks in. And then I'm going to put it right on the bottom of that tulip there, and I'm just going to hold it a little bit. All right, while that's drying, I'm going to get a small hole punch, and I'm going to punch it right before the beginning of the sentiment. Okay, and I'm going to just take a little bit of white baker's twine, and loop it through the tag, and then I'm just going to tie it around the bow. You could also glue it on if you don't want to mess with all of this baker's twine also. Okay, and then I'm just going to even off the crinkle. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm just going to glue it all. Just going to hold it down here. I did it a while after. On this one, I didn't know what sentiment I was going to be putting, so it was pretty good dried by the time I was doing the sentiment. All right, now this is still loose, but everything here is nicely attached. Okay, so now I'm going to get some of the Iridescent Rhinestone Basic Jewels, and I'm going to put one on each of the tulips, like a little water droplet. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, my email is below. And all of the supplies are listed below, and the measurements are on my blog, which is linked below. Alrighty, if you have any products that you want from Stampin' Up, I would be glad to be your demonstrator. My website is linked. And have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye.